Hi Chris, just showing you the went all the way in there, so this is all good now, and I put on the wood rot wood hardener, sorry about that. So you can see, look, we'll let that soak over the weekend, and need to get something in there. I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable just flush filling the face, but I'd like to get something actually in there. Yeah, so I make sure that I have a good grip when I actually fill it up. Okay, thanks Chris, bye. So here we are. The hinges are covered up. Tape may come off a little bit, but we'll keep working with it. Okay, so the hinges are covered up. The bottom drip panel is covered up. The internal mechanisms turned up. So here I'm going to have to do more. I'm going to have to cover this up, because by right this is where the door ends. This is so I'm going to have to do this, and the same on the inside, so I'll do that again. Now, one of the problems is there's a bit of paint along here, so we got to decide, are we going to paint it or are we going to remove that paint? Upstairs in the windows they're totally painted, so we'll have a look at it and see. The standing arms done, the hinges are done. They may move a little bit, the internal mechanism, the lock is done, but I've left it as much as I can so it still functions. Okay, up here, and then our hinges and our internal rubber as well as the threshold board as well. So, okay. So for the windows, we have the receivers done, we have the glazing bar done, we have the internal rubber done coming along, as well as the extending rigid arm plates. Okay, and then up in these smaller windows, it's pretty easy. It's just a drip board, just a metal drip board up there. Just sanding back timber here, and you can see we got to a smooth substrate, and then we got into the grooves with a little bit of lighter timber. One or two little repairs needed, but we'll cut that there and we'll just fill it. We'll fill that. So one or two other little divots need. So look, sand it back, and now we're ready. We'll wipe it off, and we'll give it a wipe off the residue, and we'll give it a tiny little bit, and then we'll put a primer on it. Okay, so we're ready to go. You can see the odd little bit, just the odd little bit, but what's going to happen is when we put the primer on, things are going to show up an awful lot more, and we got to then fill these gaps here as we talked about. Okay, so, and these ones here. Okay, and then we've also got to caulk in around the edges as we talked about, and the underneath. So we're pretty smooth. We got into the grooves. We're taking an awful lot off, and we're ready to apply a coat of primer. Okay, there's another little divot. Things like that we gotta watch out in the fill. Okay. And you can see the upper windows there as well. Just want to show you. So we've sealed up the windows around the edges, also sealed it up around the gaps, and just especially the areas coming up from the bottom upright as well. And we've also sealed underneath and that may take a second one as it may shrink because there's so much, but we'll have a look at it, we'll keep an eye on that. So it's been the same process for all of them, and we also sealed the top as well as the normal sealing of the fascia and soffit as well. But just even on the windows you can also see anywhere that has a gap we've filled. I'm going to show you a window later that doesn't have a fill, and you can see the difference of it. Okay, pre-finished window by somebody else. So you can see down by the gap done in the side at the joints, because if there's going to be any splitting, it's going to be at the joints, so that's why you need flexible filler put in at the joints. Okay, so what actually you may look at, and you may see two windows and you may think it's a unit, but it's actually two individual windows coupled together, and you don't notice the joint when it's actually stained and it's got, you know, T30 or what is it, 936 in it, but beyond that you do notice it. You actually notice the gaps big time, and then you got a little bit of splitting in the door itself, so we also filled that with flexible filler as well. Okay, so same here guys. Thanks. Just showing you the fascia caulked up there and soffit. So and there's just a little bit of hammer right that we're going to hit with the nail heads, okay, before we actually put a couple of coats on it. Okay, thanks. Use the alt prime, and you can see we got it tinted, and there it is there, tinted. The hammer right nails there, all of them. So they've been pre-primed. Here's an undercoat on, and over the undercoat off, we've gone off and we've refilled. So you can see we've refilled after we initially filled. So we're going to get another undercoat on, then after that we'll come back again. So we're in an endless cycle of process cleaning, process painting, undercoating, filling, sanding, until we get it absolutely as solid as we can. So you can see the first undercoat shows up an awful lot of indentations that aren't necessarily clear when you do the first one. So you see where we are after the second undercoat, okay? We're also cleaning up the windowsills as well, just to smoothen them out to fill out the holes. Now you can see the second undercoat. We just need to touch up some sections, but you can see second undercoat and flush filling the sills there as well to make them smooth. So after this we'll clean them off once more, we'll refill them, and then we'll go and start to put a couple of finish coats on. Showing the sills, so just need a tiny little sand on them before we start to get some paint, and some old residue like that we want to try and fill out as well. Okay, so we'll give them a fill, but you can see and you can see how Ronan did the curve near the edge, tried to make that smoother looking continuously all the way around. Okay. So here we got the first coat in the gloss, not gloss, but the satin top coat. So you can see, so we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to come back around, we're going to fill, and we're going to take any drips or any voids or any little bits speckle or dust or flies or whatever gets on it. So there's the first coat there, and we'll come back and we'll fill, and then even after we get another coat on it, we'll still come back tomorrow and we'll do an examination. We'll have another look and we'll see if there's anything else that needs more attention. So we can keep on revisiting it until we get it, which is kind of nice because it takes the urgency out of it. You can even be working on another section while still coming and doing this one and still coming back. Okay, so that's where we are. Here we're one top coat, and what I've done is I've gone back over everything now. So kind of looking for imperfections and filling one last hole. We'll let this congeal because that's a good couple of coats it's had, and we'll just let that congeal and settle overnight, and then tomorrow we can put a coat. Not quite sure about the weather, so we'll just play it by ear, but look, we'll just leave that and we'll let it go hard. Okay, and if it is mildly raining tomorrow, we'll start doing the prep work at the front, and if it's heavy rain we won't be in. So you'll just see that there. So coat on there now, and what we do is we got small adjustments from here on in. We'll just keep adjusting it, keep just looking. You see, like there's a little drip there, just got it there. So we'll just keep looking around and we'll just keep seeing things like that, and we'll just keep going. Then we'll take the paint off the glass, and then we'll clean them down tomorrow and just keep adjusting as we do the inserts. And we just keep adjusting them there. Okay, thanks guys. Hi Chris, just showing you went all the way in there, so this is all good now, and I put on the wet rot wood hardener, sorry about that. So you can see, look, we'll let that soak over the weekend, and need to get something in there. I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable just flush filling the face, but I'd like to get something actually in there. Yeah, so I make sure that I have a good grip when I actually fill it up. Okay, thanks Chris, bye. You can see now we put expanded foam in, we've let it come all the way out. Now we have a solid substrata, but at the same time I'm not asking the foam to do all the work. We're going to put a two-part epoxy in there, okay, after putting the wood hardener in there. So we'll put that in, we'll let this go hard, and we'll do that tomorrow. Thanks guys. Here we are here, we have some more rotten areas, so going to head off. We ran out of the wood hardener, so we're going to go on up and things, but they're all at the lower levels, Chris. Up above is solid, which makes sense. Water runs down and then it pools and it kicks back in. So there's our initial one, and we go on in. But you see, you got little bits of upstand there, and you see that baby there, you can see the end. So it's solid up above, but in there wasn't. So I think we may need to seal this area here that usually isn't sealed on these windows, just to be 100% sure. And also I'd say this was due to this coming down the side, so we need to not only caulk all the way around the top, but we also need to come along the side there as well. So you can also see bits of it there, bits of it over here, bits of it down there, right? So what we have is we have wholesale small little indentations apart from the two main ones, but the rest of these are on the way. So we need to get them now before they go any further, which we have. Okay, and then the two main ones are obviously this baby and this one here is really, really deep as well. Okay, it's really, really, really deep. Okay, so thanks, Chris. We're going to get the wood hardener. It dries in 2 hours, and then you can see that there. Dries in 2 hours, so then you can then we'll fill it up and we'll take it from there. Thanks, Chris. Got the wood hardener, different brand but the same stuff. We're going to put it in. No, we're not going to drink it. So, and we'll just apply it on in. I'm starting to use the 2-part epoxy here, and I've got some into this hole here, Chris, but I'm building it up in layers because even though it goes off instantly, I still need to build it up in layers. So you can see here I'm just building it up in layers, okay? And then I managed to get some in here looking pretty good, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this section along here as well, all the way, so I'm giving you the best resistance there is. And I'm also going to do this up in the windowsill up above as well. And I'll probably even, when I finish this, when it's dried, I'll probably even put a bit of caulk just over this as well, so you got a double barrier and then we don't have to worry about it, okay? So you can kind of see it's pliable, and look, it's kind of already going hard. It goes hard pretty much instantly. So we need to just let it set for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I can keep on adding layers to it. Thanks, Chris. Right, I'm putting a bit of pressure on with the knife. This stuff goes rock hard. So, like, there's a fair bit of pressure being put on, and it's not even leaving indentations. So, we got good gear here. Building this up in layers, and you can see this side's pretty smooth. But over here, I've probably gone a little bit too much over, which is okay because I can sand it back. So it's not about getting it perfect, it's about getting it slightly oversized so you can sand back the profile. Okay, thanks. And you can see this up here, just still building this baby back up into layers. Okay. These are the two main ones, the rest of them are easy enough. We've been building it up, and we still need to build up the bottom, and we still maybe a little bit oversized on the side. So look, we still need to keep on going. And this baby over here, we nearly got there, but apart from a little bit, we just need to build up that little bit area right in there. Now we need to make sure that this area in here is filled. We can either do that with caulk, or we can do that with a little bit more filler as we go along. Okay. Here we are here. You can see the finished product. Until we get some paint on, we might see some differentials. So then we can use light grey fillage. But we're back in terms of profile. We're looking pretty good. So we'll just wait and see. May need a tiny little fill there, but we're into small stuff now. So you can see what we've done today is fill this hole. We sealed up along the side. We got peel and paint off there, and we filled it with 2-part epoxy as well. We'll sand that back and we'll flush fill it, i.e. neater fill it with lighter grade. We might go over it again depending on the voids. Then we also did the indentations to give it a new profile all the way up to get rid of the bumps, all the way on the uprights, the extended uprights. And then we sanded back, sanded back, and look, we still need to go on in and caulk things up, and we still need to seal things up. So while the main bulk of the work is done on the window, there's still indentations, and you can see still need to seal up little bits, and we're going to seal these joints up so the water leaks onto the sill, okay, and those little areas just need a little bit more work, okay, but you can see the likes of this, that's done now. Here we are, the finished product. So we may need to flush fill this after we get a primer, and we'll see some divots or we'll see some indentations, but we can do that with a flush filler, and we just need to work on it. So that's where we're starting. This is where we are now, guys. Just here you can see we're just cleaning off the edge there of the metal strip, and we'll get a little bit of cleaner on top of when we're cleaning down the windows fully. And here you can see one here with the actual paint remover on it, so it sat there for a while. So this is afterwards and this is before, so we'll clean this off and show you this when it's done. Okay, thanks. You see the finished section there. So look, we'll tidy it up. We still got to do the windowsill and just little touch-ups, but you can see, and we got the first coat of primer on this baby here. Okay, so you can see all the way along we got the first coat of primer on that. We'll put another coat on today. Still got to do the facial soffit up here, probably a little bit drip down it, but look, we'll get that on, we'll move that on, okay? Most of it's coming off pretty handy, and then I'll send you this one as well. You can see the actual stuff still kind of active on it there. So just the old paint stains, so you can see a lot of that going on. Here we are here. Here's this baby after it's been done. And here's some of the sections done there. So, well, the receivers. So look, we'll tidy them up and take a video when they're done. There they are there. Sorry, there and there. So look, we'll see how they are. You can actually see the stuff is already lifted. A little bit of that. See, finished one now. We need to paint in around them, but that's kind of just in around there. We need to touch them up, but that's just part of the process. So you can see this baby here. You can see it up there and up there. So we'll see how we get on there with that one. You can see it. I'm a little bit further back. They look a lot cleaner now. We'll go over them one more time and we'll do the inserts and we'll have another look at them. But you can just see they look a lot cleaner from there. So we've got the sides done up along. We started on them, and we got the same going on up here. So take down the paper tomorrow, we'll make the adjustments, and then we'll take these off in here as well and do them. So that's kind of where we are. So I'm going to tidy them off once we make the adjustments, you know. Same with the windows. We've tidied these little bars off down here all over. They may need us to come again at them but in a second go, but most of them are done. Then we got the sides up along done as well. Then we just need to concentrate in small little areas like that and just get into them once the paper's off. So it kind of takes a couple of stages, and then take these guys off and tidy them up as well. Okay, so listen, we'll chat to you tomorrow, okay? Thanks guys. It's beginning to rain now, so we're not going to push it. We're going to do one video today. So where we are at, and we're not done, and you can see little bits, but it's really about touch up from here on in. Then it's about coming back and taking the paint off. So we've got to do, there's one or two bits, and you can see in the seal and that, but it's really about removing paint from now on in and then touch up. So just trying to keep getting it tighter and then come back and small touch ups for the next day or two. So you can see little bits, but you can see things are improving. So we'll just keep coming back and just keep adjusting them. You know, we'll take those paints off. We'll go removing the paint and small touch-ups tomorrow. And that little section up there is done black. And if you guys can decide for me, are you going to do the you want me to get a satin finish, or are you happy with the flat on that? And if you can just make a decision on the gutters as well without pressurizing you too much, so we can start to just move on them. So you can see the lines are getting pretty tight up along there, and we've got them done in there, so we just need to clean off them. And some of this have paint remover on, which, you know, will last until the morning, then it just comes off. So that's what we'll do. We'll be in here first thing in the morning to go back over this again. And then there's one or two little elements. This is rotten. This is rotten here, so I need to take care of this as well. It looked okay, I thought it was, but then it's moving, so I'll probably need to come up to here, and we'll go through the same process. And up above on the roof is at the same stage, where it's really just about final touch-ups and removing paint again. Okay, so that's kind of where we are. And then Ronan, I have to head off for an hour or two today, just to finish off a job. Don't like normally doing it, but I just got rained out of it, and just want to leave them back, so then I'm back here for good. So Ronan's going to start on the front, okay, and he's going to get 2 coats of primer up and on the fascia, and then he's going to work upon this. And then here we need to make this white, need to try and remove some of this paint. We're going to paint over this. I know it's counterproductive, but we're going to paint over this so we get a good edge, and then we'll remove the paint from this area here, from the insert. Okay, so that's where we are. Okay, talk to you later. Thanks, see you in the morning, Chris. Hi Chris, so you can just see here, got this refilled. Okay, we got it kind of flush filled, so we're going to put another primer / undercoat on it, and then we can see where we are, and then we'll see about putting top coat and, you know, more undercoat or filler. So we'll just see where we're. So I'm going to get it one now, but you can see we've got more on it. You can see we flush filled up above it with the caulk as well. Okay, and the same process going up above. So we're going to get some paint on these babies now. Okay. See here, what we did is we caulked in there, so I've double sealed all of that, where earlier we had put in the wood filler, the 2-part epoxy. Here's another one, just a lighter colour, but now I caulked all the way up, so you got a double seal up here on the windowsills to stop any water getting through. I'm just going to show you. Already got a seal on this the other day, yesterday. So I'm going to double seal it now, and that way we kind of know that at least if the problem persists, we know that it's not coming in from here. But as I said to you, I don't see how it's coming in from up above, because it would have left more evidence if it was coming in. Couldn't come through the head up there. So there's another line there, and I'll smooth that off now. Okay, thanks. They got a coat on this, the final coat on this, so from here on in we're kind of looking for sins and just touching up. We still have to sort out this glaze and bar, obviously. We still got to sort out these areas here. We got to fill them, you know, because you can see the gaps, they're quite big, so we know what happened last time. Okay, just got the windows done and got the door frame done, so we just need to come back and just make adjustments around the bottom where the water can get in. You can see the gap, but it's really prominent in some of them. So look, we know we're going to seal it up, then need to just come down and just adjust it. And I think we should seal those ones up there too, Chris, the larger ones, you know, and even do the ones at the back as well, because as I was just saying to Bevan, like obviously the same process going on, but the back is more sheltered, but that doesn't mean to say it won't happen. Section here, so it's quite deep, but I've got the wet rot wood hardener on it, and we'll just let that sit for a while, and we'll build that back up. bit here, so just need to add a little bit more and to keep the profile a bit, but so it doesn't look great now, but look, we'll work on it, we'll get there. And then I've sealed these babies here, so each one of them, I just want to show you that before I paint it up. Actually, there's one I didn't seal, so that one I haven't sealed. I thought I sealed them all, so you can see them there, Chris, up there sealed, and need to do them here on the doors too. Okay, but you can see the windows there, you can just see how they are, and up there and up there, these babies here, 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 and here, so you can see got in, so when it drips down it's not going to stay there. Okay, so just need to do the doors and that little one that I missed there. Then after that, it's about paint remover tomorrow and just touching up again. So we're nearly there. Okay. This baby, you can still see, needs to be sanded back, filled again, and before we get it right. But the profile's kind of right. Just needs a little bit more belly in there to be sanded. Right. Filled in some more of these, touched up others. So today is just kind of been walking around, touching up and filling. So we're nearly there. Need to go at these guys here, you know, the likes of those type of drips, and just tidying things up. Going to do the fascia and soften in the back as well tomorrow, the gutters. And I'll pick up some soft sheen because that's what Bevan was saying, just to get the finish there. So just back door locked, all the windows locked, just that window up there. Okay, listen, talk to you later on, Chris. Thanks. So you can see that I filled some of these, painted them. So like the water has nowhere to go now. So it's just a matter of tidying off those metal profiles now. Even though it wasn't that bad here, over time Mother Nature would have done the same thing. Okay, talk to you later on. Bye. You can see we got the profile here. Obviously we need to sand it back and clean it, but we're kind of more or less right in terms of proportion. Okay, so we just let that go hard and then we'll take care of it and refill it a bit if we have to. So we can see there we're looking pretty good. By the time the slip goes back in, we'll be there. So put a primer and put a bit of paint on it. Just final, well, look, we'll probably revisit it once or twice again, but we're kind of there as far as I'm concerned. So, also put a coat on the front door as well. So worked up until lunchtime on the outside, and then it started to get wet, and I left the inside touch-ups to do in and around the frames and cleaning things off after that. So going ahead now. Okay, thanks. Tidied up the ground as well, so just got rid of the paint. Just need to sweep in the morning. Okay, talk to you in the morning. Thanks. Here we are here. Just final touch-ups needs, and just to clean off windows and clean off handles, and just put a little bit of window lean on the glazing bars as well. Hard to see with all the ladders, but also did up above as well, guys. Sometimes when you're doing a door, sorry, a door or a window, but sometimes you can see So what I gotta do is I'm taking this in here because the inside bit wasn't done. So you've got painted white inside, but the inside rim of this I'm taking in white. Okay, it'll take a couple of coats. So I'm taking it in white so it matches. So we got a clean elevation. Okay, on both sides. I can't leave the raw timber there, it wouldn't look right. A bit of hammerite here, and I've just done I did the actual lamping flat, but there was a little bit of yellow on it. I don't know, was that us or another, doesn't really matter. But the thing about it is, I want to get the hammerite, so I've got the hammerite on the screws, you can kind of see there, and I want to get some on the top one as well, because if they're going to rust. So I got the arms and the screws, and by the arms I mean this section here that comes out. Okay, in hammerite. Showing you here, we got a first coat on this now, so I'm going to put another coat on. It looks okay, but when you get in close you can just see, especially the gutter just needs another coat. Okay, listen, so I'm just going to give it another coat now. Okay.